Riverside, California, November 2010. Around 10:45 p.m., Officer Ryan Bonaminio loses his life during a routine stop.
This incident all began as a hit and run at about 10:45. A Riverside patrol officer spotted a truck that he believed to have been involved in that incident and made a traffic stop on that vehicle. It was then that the driver got out of the truck and took off running. Fairmount Park is a very dark place at night, and it is highly unlikely that the officer could have seen what the suspect was up to as he gave chase.
A short time later, shots were heard. The officer was struck, and he was transported to one of our local hospitals.
We know that there was, in fact, an exchange of gunfire, and the officer was struck by at least one bullet. The officer, again identified as Ryan Bonaminio, a 4-year veteran of the department. He was rushed to Riverside Community Hospital, a few short blocks from this location, but efforts there to save his life proved in vain.
A tragic story like this is nothing new to 3 members of a group called Skillful Tactics. It's a product of the hood, they say. Living in Riverside, what else is new? Now we follow these 3 artists, these 3 men, to see what their life is.
B-Naz, Skillful Tactics, Riverside, California, you know, home of the bells. Keeping hip-hop out here, you know what I mean, with the crew. Pretty much I'm a producer, engineer, get stuff done, help out, advertising, whatever we need to get done, you know, try to get all that done for us.
AlterEgo, Skillful Tactics out of Venice/Riverside. As far as my role with the group, I'm an MC, of course, but also the manager. I try to book some shows, you know, as many shows as I can for us, hold the meetings and things like that with the people that we need to, you know, obviously do business with.
This is Con right here, Riverside, born and bred, baby, from right here from Skillful Tactics. This is a hip-hop crew. We keeping it real right here in Underground, trying to show that everything on the radio, you guys been lied to, man. We're trying to keep it real.
With me, rap was always like a therapy, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of stuff that went on, you know, growing up and stuff. It's just like got a lot of my, I don't want to say anger, it got a lot of my stress off, you know what I mean? Like started writing and, you know, doing stuff by myself. I used to freestyle by myself. Just like the way it made me feel, you know what I mean? Then once I started getting people's responses, you know, that, you know, thought I had something going, then I just kind of ran with it, you know what I mean? That I got a couple cousins that did it before me, you know what I mean? They didn't really stick to it, but they're really good, and that just kind of kept me like, you know, they could have went somewhere. I think I can.
How did I get into rap? Let's see. It started at an early age, man. I was, you know, I always kicked it with my older cousins, and they were just big hip hop heads, and you know, just kind of schooled me on the game. And then, you know, being from the West Coast, Pac, Dre, you know, they were a big influence because they were talking about what we saw, what we lived. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a form of storytelling, which I like. You know what I mean? I could relate to it. But I didn't really start, as far as me personally, doing anything until about my teenage years. I got out here actually. You know, B-Naz, he actually freestyle. That's all he used to do. So you know, I used to jump in just trying to be witty and funny and clowning. You know what I mean? So
I got into rap because of my pops, man. He had that musical feel to him. Every day he get home from work tired. You know what I mean? He want to throw some iced tea on, some Ice Cube. You know, just old school stuff and Grandmaster Flash and, you know, stuff like that. So listening to that, and then, you know, the other fools in the crew, they're older than me, so I kind of had to show them, you know, I might not have grew up with that, but I've heard that. I used to rock that, you know, stuff like that.
Who's my inspiration musically? I'd have to say, you know, growing out in Cali, you know what I mean, West Coast, you know, that has a big influence. So of course, you know, the obvious like Dre, Pac, DJ Quick, you know what I mean, but just growing up, you know, oldies, you know what I mean, oldies, the OJs, you know what I mean, you know, you can talk, you know, oldies for days. I don't want to get into all that, but you know what I mean, Marvin Gaye, all those guys, and you know, just I'm well-rounded. I mean, I like a lot of music that influences me in different ways. Right now, as far as hip hop though, you know, Dilated Peoples from LA. I like you know, like Black Milk. I don't know if people are familiar with him, but he's from Detroit. Just MCs, people that are bringing different concepts, not talking about the same thing, you know, over and over. Little Brother.
My inspirations, I mean, I guess I have to say, like, with music, I like, you know, Eminem, Cannabis, you know, stuff like that makes me want to step my game up lyrically, you know what I mean? As far as like real life experience, real life inspirations, I have to say my nephews. I got 3 of them, kind of make me, you know, make it easier to wake up every day with the stuff that goes on, you know what I mean? It's just see them every day, you know, they're here all the time, so it's like, you know, I'm chilling with them, kicking with them when I'm writing, you know, have them come in and mess with them. They're just a big part of my life right now, so they keep me going.
My inspirations, they're, you know, pretty much, I like the storytellers, you know, the people that you can relate to, because I find it easier, you know, like when you're growing up in the hood, a lot of people come from that, so it's easy to write about because you're not making it up. You're being real, and people can understand, and they swear to God you was living in the same room with them. And my inspiration, like Biggie, he could sit there and flip it, talk about slanging and this and that, and then talking about coming up. And it's all, you can sit there and he'll tell a whole story with you. And Tupac the same way, you know, coming up from the hood and trying to show people that, you know, there's beauty in what people seem to turn away at. You know, they want to look at, oh, poverty, let's not even go down that street. But you know, that's where the struggle house people get out of that. You know, inspiration comes from all over.
Thus far up to this point would have to be my grandpa passing away. Like I said, he was a rock, like, you know, the foundation in a world of kind of chaos when I was younger. I mean, growing up in Venice and LA, West LA, you know, seen a lot of things as a kid that I probably shouldn't have seen. You know, house was raided many times and those types of things, and not glorifying that, but just living in that type of environment, he kept me, you know, I felt secure. I felt that there was some stability in my life, and just like I said, in a world of chaos. So when he passed away, man, I really felt, at that time, I felt alone. You know, I felt, you know, well, where do I go from here? And you know, instead of taking that and turning it into a negative like I could have, because so many people around me were gangbanging and you know, doing dope, doing different things that really I seen and I knew, you know, just by the, you know, the experiences, that I didn't want to go down that road.
You know, it's hard, especially growing up, man. My mom and dad, they got divorced at a young age, and it wasn't no easy thing. It wasn't just like, oh, you know, let's split up, but you know, we'll still kick it. Nah, it wasn't like that, man. You gotta choose who you got to live with. It's hard, dude. Like, how do you even start to grasp that question? But you know, we made the decision, and I stuck it out with my dad, and my other siblings, you know, they went with my mom, and that was hard too, man. I mean, imagine, you know, you go to Christmas parties or any kind of party, and like everybody's having fun, and then it's time to eat, and then, you know, there goes the mom serving up plates while the kids are sitting out, you know. But it's like parties like that, it was just us. So there goes my big sister, you know, setting us up. And it's like, damn, she grew up too young. I remember every one of it, because that made me the person who I am talking to you right
now. Life-changing experience for me had to be, you know, when my grandpa and my uncle died. They're just, you know, a big part. Made me strong, like I try to be. I don't know, they just gave me the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? The things that they cared about. Nothing stopped them from, you know, doing what they had to do to handle it. That's how I try to be.
It seems that no matter what life has to offer to these 3 members of Skillful Tactics, they are still going to keep pushing, survive, and have the will to keep doing what they have to do in the music industry to stay alive, for themselves and for their family.
Now, man, who's the clown of Skillful Tactics? Yeah.
That's what it is.
If you had the question who's the clown of the group, it's definitely B-Naz, man. B-Naz is the clown. You know?
SD.
Now that's what happens in Riverside when you get the culture at the park trying to have a good time and
Trying to kick it, man.
5-0, one time, whatever you want to call them. Always gotta show up.
He's hating on the wig.
And that's taxpayer money though, so thank you. All right, man. So we established who is the clown, right? Who is the hothead of the group? Who's the hothead, man?
I'd have to say Randy.
I say Randy.
Randy's the hothead. Randy, what's up, man?
Definitely.
No. I don't even know, man. Like, I was like, when you asked that question, I didn't even think about it. I was like, I bet you're supposed to say me.
So establishing that you're the hothead, right? Now there's always, the jokester, the hothead. Is it safe to say that Mr. AlterEgo is a pretty boy of the situation?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I can say that.
Yeah?
Say that.
You can say that? Yeah.
Don't get it twisted though, you know what I'm saying?
The real question should be, how long did it take him to get that?
The real question should be, what time you get here?
So you consider yourself a pretty boy?
I don't consider myself that, they do. But,
okay.
But yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Do the ladies consider you as a pretty boy?
He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. He's almost married, dog.
Oh, okay.
They used to.
They used to?
No more.
No wonder you're not wearing a jersey. It's hung up, right?
Yeah. It's in a frame in my
Along with this card.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't really talk too much about that.
What's next for you guys, man?
Well, next we got a show right here at the Mission Tobacco Lounge in downtown Riverside. January is a show. We're actually hosting the event. B-Naz put it together as far as getting different hip hop artists from Riverside to actually come and rock a show here. So we have a meeting with Bill, the owner, tonight, and we're gonna get all the details squared away and get it going, get it cracking, man.
Back at the lab with the members of Skillful Tactics, watching them work was like basically seeing the arms on the clock with a lifetime battery, feeding off of each other, joking around, but at the end of the day, getting the job done. What's in store for these guys in the future? Only God knows, in time. But one thing for sure is that they got a lot of heart, a lot on their mind, and that for sure is gonna go on paper and onto a record, and hopefully from there to a #1 song.